Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about free fall. Have you heard about this word free fall? Before discussing about this, let us talk about an activity which is very familiar to you. For this activity, you just want to take a stone, a small stone, throw it upwards. It reaches a certain height and after reaching a certain height, it starts falling down. Why does the stone fall down? Because earth attracts every object towards it. So, this is due to the gravitational force of attraction, the stone falls down. That is, when the stone is falling down, there is a gravitational force acting on it. So, whenever we consider the objects falling down, if the only force acting on it is the gravitational force, then we can say that the object is in free fall motion. That is, whenever objects fall towards the earth under the gravitational force alone, we say that the objects are in free fall. But you see, when we consider the falling motion of the stone which was thrown by us, there is a force exerted by the air molecules present in the atmosphere too acting on the stone. So, if we neglect that force, we can consider its motion as free fall motion. Okay, that is, free fall motion is the motion of the body where gravitational force is the only force acting on it. Now, when the stone or any other object is falling down, there is no change in direction of motion of objects while falling. While falling, the object won't go like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, when this object is falling down, there is no change in direction of motion of objects while falling. Okay, now when we have discussed about universal law of gravitation in our previous video, we got an expression for the gravitational force of attraction between two objects as F is equal to some gravitational universal gravitation constant G into m divided by d square. Okay, G is the gravitational universal constant, universal gravitation constant, m into m product of the masses, d square, square of the distance or separation between the two objects, F is the force of attraction between the two objects. Okay, now consider the object is initially somewhere here. When it is falling down, see, so object is initially somewhere here, that is, it is this much height away from the earth or from the surface of the earth or from the ground. Okay. Now, when it is falling down, its distance from the ground decreases now. That is, after some time the ball may reach here. So, that time its distance is only this much from the earth. And after some time the ball may reach here. So, that time only this much distance is there between the ground and the ball. Okay, so when the object is falling down, its distance from the ground decreases. When the distance of separation decreases, what happens to the force of attraction? That increases. Because you see that when the distance decreases, the d square also, we have d square here. So, denominator decreases. Okay, when the distance d decreases, denominator decreases. When the denominator decreases for a constant numerator, then the total value, that is force also, force increases. Okay, because here the denominator decreases. Now, when denominator decreases, the total value increases. For example, don't worry about that. For example, you see, okay, I'm taking 1 by, okay, I'm taking, okay, 20 by 20. What is 20 by 20? Equal to 1. Alright, next I'm just decreasing the denominator. I'm fixing the numerator and I'm decreasing the denominator to what? 10. So, what about the total value? 2. So, total value increased. Okay, next I am again decreasing the denominator to 5. So, what is the value? 4. So, you see when we decrease the denominator, okay, numerator is fixed, and when we decrease the denominators, the total value increases. Okay, so similarly here, when the object is falling down, its distance from the ground decreases. When the distance of separation decreases, it is in the denominator, no, denominator decreases. So, total value, that is F, that force increases. Since more and more gravitational force due to the earth acts on this object while it is falling, there will be a change in its velocity, no. Acceleration comes into play when there is a change in velocity. That is, any change in velocity involves acceleration. That is, whenever an object falls towards the earth, an acceleration is involved. This acceleration is due to the earth's gravitational force, no? Therefore, this acceleration is called as the acceleration due to the gravitational force of the earth, or it is called as acceleration due to gravity. Okay, this acceleration is actually due to the earth's gravitational force of attraction. So that acceleration is called as acceleration due to the gravitational force of the earth, or acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is represented by small letter g. Okay, what is the SI unit of acceleration? Meter second raised to minus 2 now, or meter per second square? Okay, meter per second square or meter second raised to minus 2. And SI unit of acceleration due to gravity is also meter second raised to minus 2 or meter per second square. Okay. Now, let the mass of this object be small letter m. Okay, mass of this object is small letter m. While it is falling, there is an acceleration involved, which is the acceleration due to gravity, g. Okay, then from Newton's second law of motion, we have the force acting on an object of mass m and moving with an acceleration a as F is equal to m into a. So for this object of mass m, which is falling down, the acceleration is involved is small letter g. So the gravitational force acting on this object can be written as m into, here the acceleration is acceleration due to gravity g. So we can write the gravitational force acting on that object as F is equal to m into g. I am taking this as equation number 1. Okay, now you see, actually we have one expression for the magnitude of the gravitational force as F is equal to gmm divided by d square. Right, where this g is the universal gravitation constant, m is the mass of the earth. Okay, when we talk about the falling motion of an object towards the earth, then capital letter m can be considered as the mass of the earth, small letter m can be considered as the mass of the object, and d is the distance between the object and the earth. Okay, I'm taking this as equation number 2. So we have F is equal to m into g, we have F is equal to g mm by d square. See, the left hand sides of both the equations are the same. So hence right hand side. Okay, so I'm equating this equation number 1 and equation number 2. So that we can write m into g is equal to g mm divided by d square. Because both are F equal to, no? Both are the same, no? Both are the expressions for the gravitational force, no? Okay, so we can equate these two expressions. And we can write mg is equal to g mm by d square. Okay, see, if I am taking this m to this side, or if I am taking this m to this side, okay, so we get g equal to g mm divided by d square. I am taking this small letter m to this side, so that goes to the denominator. And this m cancel, no? So rest we have g is equal to capital letter G, capital letter M divided by d square. Okay, I'm taking this as equation number 3, and this is actually the expression for the acceleration due to gravity. Okay, g is the acceleration due to gravity, capital letter G, it is a universal gravitation constant, capital letter M, mass of the earth, and d is the distance of separation. Okay, so we got one expression for the acceleration due to gravity like this, g m by d square. Now, let the object be on or near the surface of the earth. Then the distance between the object and the earth becomes capital letter R, where R is the radius of the earth. We measure the distance between two objects from their centers. So when this object is on or near the surface of the earth, the distance between the earth and that object can be approximated to the radius of the earth. So in such cases, we can replace the term d in the expression for g is equal to g m by d square. This was expression number 3, no? So in such cases, we can replace the small letter d by capital letter R, where R is the radius of the earth. So we can write g, acceleration due to gravity, is equal to g m divided by R square, and I am taking this as equation number 4. See, our earth is not a perfect sphere like this. It is almost like this. Excuse me for the bad drawing anyway. See, from the center, let this be the center of the earth. From the center of the earth to the poles, the distance is less. Okay, the center to the pole, this distance is less. That is, if we measure the radius of the earth from its center, okay, center is taken somewhere here, from its center to the polar regions, that distance, that radius of the earth is less. Now, see the distance from the center of the earth to the equator region, that distance is quite more compared to this distance. That is, if we measure the radius of the earth as the distance from the center to the equator region, that radius, that value of that radius will be more. Okay, that is, the radius of the earth increases. The radius of the earth increase. Radius means from the center to any point here, no? So, the radius of the earth increases from the polar regions to the equator regions. Okay, radius of the earth increases from the poles to the equator. When we take the polar regions, the radius from the center of the earth to the pole, that is less. Okay, this distance is less. So, when the radius is less, in that case, denominator is less. When denominator is less, total value, that is g value will be more. That is, when denominator decreases, g value increases. Okay, so here the g value increases. Here the g value will be more. Alright, now if we take the radius of the earth from the center of the earth to the equator regions, this distance is more. So, denominator increases. So, total value g decreases. So, g value will be less here near the equator regions. Okay, that is, the value of g becomes greater. The value of g becomes greater at the poles, and the value of g becomes the value of g becomes greater at the poles than at the equator. While we are comparing the values of this acceleration due to gravity near the equator regions as well as the polar regions, the value of g becomes greater at the poles than at the equator. So, for most of the calculations, we can take this expression when the object is on or near the earth or earth's surface. For objects very far away from the earth, g value is taken as g equal to gm by d square. Okay, we can take this g to be more or less constant on or near the earth. And how can we calculate the value of this g? We have this expression, no, g is equal to gm divided by r square. G is a constant, 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11. Okay, then m, mass of the earth, almost 6 into, approximated to 6 into 10 raised to 24 kilogram, divided by radius of the earth can be taken as 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meter. So, whole square. While we are doing this calculation, you will get almost a value 9.8 meter per second square or 9.8 meter second raised to minus 2. Okay, so the value of acceleration due to gravity of the earth is 9.8 meter second raised to minus 2. So in this video, we have discussed about free fall motion of an object. We have discussed about acceleration due to gravity, and we have seen how g value varies when we move from the polar region to the equator regions, etc. I hope you understood this. Thank you.